guys, welcome back to the Strong.Sistas YouTube channel. Today's video is the next video in our nose to tail cooking series with how to cook oxtail. So no, oxtail is not technically an organ. It is in fact the cow's tail, and so it makes it an off part, an offal, since it is not commonly consumed, which is a shame because oxtail is one of my favorite cuts in the animal. Oxtail has no organ or off taste. It is a perfect blend of collagen, muscle meat, and fat, and it kind of tastes similar to beef short ribs. So when cooked properly, the oxtail almost falls off the bone. It is so tender, plus the gelatin bits add a great consistency. So why would you want to consume oxtail? So first, it is typically less expensive than some of the more popular cuts like ribeye. It also has a great balance of muscle meat and collagen. So we believe it is important to balance your muscle meat, which is high in an amino acid called methionine, with connective tissue and collagen sources, which are high in an amino acid called glycine. So our ancestors' diets were typically much higher in gelatin relative to modern day diets, since they commonly practiced no-till eating and they consumed all parts of the animal, including the joints, connective tissue, tendons, etc. In fact, gelatin, the cooked form of collagen, makes up about 50% of the entire animal. Well, oxtail makes it really easy to balance the methionine and glycine, since oxtail is a great mixture of muscle meat, connective tissue, and fat. However, similar to other parts that are high in collagen, oxtail requires a low and slow cooking method to give that collagen time to break down into gelatin to make it tender enough to eat. So a quick sear will certainly not work for oxtail. A really easy way to prepare oxtail is to throw your oxtail into a crock pot, cover it with broth or stock, cook it on low for 6 to 8 hours. You can add some of your favorite produce in the last hour or so, and you've got yourself a delicious oxtail stew. However, in this video, I'm going to show you guys my favorite way to cook oxtail, which is on the stovetop using a braising method. Before getting into the cooking steps, let's discuss where in the heck can you find oxtail. Unfortunately, you likely cannot readily find it along the grocery aisles at your local grocery store. So this will likely require a trip or phone call to your local farmer. You can find him or her at www.eatwild.com. In this video, we are cooking up a beautiful oxtail from Apsey Farms, which is a grass-fed and finished regenerative farm in Michigan. You can also check out White Oak Pastures website, which also sells oxtail. So let's get cooking. All right, so first step is to obviously let the oxtail thaw out. So we just let it sit in the package that was frozen overnight on the countertop. And we took it out of the package this morning and put it on the cutting board. Look at how much collagen there is. So much collagen along this bone and connective tissue, obviously with some great amount of fat and then muscle meat as well. So due to all this collagen and connective tissue, it really requires that low and slow cooking method to break that down into gelatin. And next we are going to salt. Then let's get our Dutch oven or large pot ready to go. So try to use a medium-sized burner. We don't want to use the largest burner. So let's bring that over here. Take off the lid. And let's bring this to high heat. And then when it's hot, add your favorite animal fat. So here we added ghee. We like to use tallow, ghee, or butter. And then we are going to add the entire oxtail to the pot since we want to brown each side. So this tail was obviously not cut up entirely, still connected in pieces, and that's okay. So we want to brown each side for about 2 minutes. Now we are going to flip and brown the other side. So now we are going to add some stock. I want to make sure that it's at least halfway up the oxtail. And then here you can add your desired fresh herbs. We only have fresh rosemary, otherwise I would add some fresh thyme as well. So we've got some rosemary and then a few bay leaves. And let's bring this to a boil. And once the stock is at a boil, we're going to cover and reduce to low, and we will return to it in about 1.5 hours. So after an hour and a half, we are going to flip the oxtail. So since the oxtail bits were not fully cut up, you can see it kind of like bunched up. That's okay. Just going to flip the tail here. And then again, cover for another hour and a half, but make sure that you monitor that we don't burn the bottom of the oxtail. So this will depend on how much broth and stock that you put in here. So just monitor near the end of the cooking time. It's okay if you fully reduce it, but we don't want to burn the bottom of the pan. So just make sure that you're monitoring it, and if the liquid gets way too low, you can add a little bit of stock near the end. So we're gonna cover it again, keep it on low, and cook it for another hour and a half, in total 3 hours. All right, so after that additional hour and a half, your oxtail is likely done. So you can see the liquid drastically reduced, which is a good thing. And so now we can pull the oxtail out, and we're just gonna let it rest on a cutting board. So you can ultimately save this braising liquid. So you can pour a little bit on top of your oxtail when you serve it. It has some great flavor due to all the fat that rendered off. You can also save this liquid to pour on top of your oxtail when you store your oxtail in the fridge if you're not going to consume all of your oxtail on that day. And once it is cool enough to handle, you can then just dang, it just shreds off really easily. So here we have the final shredded meat product. You can see it's a beautiful blend of fat, muscle meat, and gelatin. And then don't necessarily throw away these bones. You can see this is the biggest example of the collagen transforming into gelatin with the low and slow cooking. And you can definitely just eat the gelatin off of the end of the bone right here. So those collagen circles that we saw earlier had enough time to low and slow cook to break down into gelatin, so now this is actually edible. Into yummy gelatin. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. If you have not already, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button to stay tuned on our video uploads. Stay tuned for future videos in our nose to tail cooking series to help you guys get more comfortable and adventurous with your nose to tail nutrition strategy. Until next time, make sure you're behaving like an angel.